You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's This Is How I Made It After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's This Is How I Made It After Show.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another AfterBuzz TV after show for MTV's This Is How I Made It, Demi Lovato and B.o.B. We're back in studio. Finally, someone wanted to join us.
Back in style. Got a couple of big fans. This is my mom. You can call her Mama Joe, and that's Auntie Grace. They're visiting from the big city of Laredo, Texas. Oh. And my name's Thomas, by the way. I forgot to mention that. I don't have a name apparently.
I'm Kendra.
In it to win it, Nigel McGuinness. Excited. This is the going to be the Christmas edition, nearly, isn't it?
I mean, the way MTV puts these episodes out, it probably is the Christmas edition.
We've been waiting.
I mean, you missed a really good one with Flow Rider. I found myself downloading some Flow Rider tracks, actually. But I'm really excited about this one because I'm a huge B.o.B. fan.
Great.
I love him. Anyone fans?
Yeah, the airplane song. I mean, that was really that was the first time that I really recognized him as an artist. I mean, maybe because it was on every single station, pretty much.
Well,
but
that too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I liked a few of the songs they played, and again, learning about him, I didn't know all that about him, so it kind of made me a bigger fan.
I never knew all that stuff about him either. I just like him for his music. He reminds me of Andre 3000 from Outkast.
Oh, you think so?
Kind of has that little quirk to him, like he likes to push the boundaries in music, and
he likes to do everything too. He mentioned like he didn't want to just be categorized. He wanted to kind of have his hand in every bit of music, whether it be like R&B, country, or it was just really neat to see at a very young age. Like his dad told him, "Hey, if you're good, I'll let you play the trumpet." And he saw this big shiny object, and he's like, "Oh, I want to play the trumpet. That's such a cool thing."
Yeah.
And it was just really neat that if you listen to that song we're talking about, like you wouldn't guess it. Oh, he wanted to play trumpet and just had all this.
I would never guessed.
No,
that was his first instrument.
Yeah.
The trumpet.
Does he ever play it in any of his songs?
Not to my knowledge. I've seen him do the guitar. He usually does like an acoustic set with his guitar and then raps over that. It's really, really neat. That's actually why I started liking him.
What does B.o.B. stand for?
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't want to get it wrong. It's Billy.
This was what we needed you here for. Our resident rap historian should be able to tell us, right? B.o.B.
Oh.
It's,
Billy something. I don't know what the
his name is Bobby Ray Simmons Jr.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it?
Please hold.
I thought it said
born in Decatur, Georgia, which is east side of Atlanta, I want to say.
And I thought it was interesting, kind of a little Flow Rider-ish. Grew up in the hood, but stayed on a good track. Went to the good school, as he said.
It kind of kept him out of trouble, but his dad was a pastor. He mentioned that about his father being a pastor, and his dad always instilled those church values in him. And like you said, he was very motivated, kept himself out of trouble.
And he didn't want him to be a rapper.
No, and he said, "What are you doing? What are you doing rapping? Walking around with that rap book and with those lyrics? Like that's not you. You're being someone you're not." And that is what encouraged him to pursue this career, because he's like, "How dare you tell me?" I don't know if any of you out there, go ahead and tweet us or let us know. But I don't know how many of you are out there. Like if someone tells you you can't do this or you're not going to do this, it just motivates you more that, I'm going to prove you wrong and do it. And it was that moment that he's like, "No, Dad, I'm going to do this." And, he did it. He showed his dad.
He sure did. I mean, to be able to play guitar, piano, trumpet, who knows what else? He only mentioned those couple instruments.
But I think on recent shows we've seen a lot of people that really had to pay their dues for a long time to finally get their break. But correct me if I'm wrong, but he was signed to a deal before he even left high school, correct?
Yeah, he was performing at T.I.'s nightclub and he did that song Cloud 9.
It took a while before he had like really broke through to the next level.
Right, and even when he did, he got signed by Atlantic with, what was his name, Jim Johnson.
Who also signed T.I. Or worked with T.I., excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, did a couple of huge hits for T.I. He got signed with Atlantic Records, and he put out his first song, Hater. And I remember the song Hater, but that's not what I liked. That's not what I like from B.o.B. I like when he does his acoustic sets, and Hater was kind of just the typical rap song. So after that single died down, he said, you know, the phone call stopped, and that's when he realized, okay, I need to start doing something different. I don't want to be categorized as a rapper. I want to do rock. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then, of course, Airplanes comes out, and that's your first major single. Because Hater was big, but it wasn't on the Billboard Top 100 charts. And to include Haley from Paramore, this is one of my favorite stories. The fact they never met each other. They wrote the song. He sent it over to her people. She wrote her lyrics, and to put them together. And then their first, I don't know if you guys remember the MTV Awards where they actually did their first performance, and that was the first time they'd ever been in the same room together. It was.
Are you talking about with Haley Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a way we can play that, Marissa? The Airplanes B.o.B featuring Haley Williams. We can pull that up. Thank you so much. But yeah, it was a really good performance, and it was kind of neat that they went back to that and showcased that.
Yeah.
Never to have worked with this person before, and like they said, I mean, I would love for them to do another track together because their voices complement each other very well, and it delivers that hip hop, that pop.
Right.
Well, it kind of reminds you of Eminem and
Rihanna, right?
No.
Dido. Dido?
Yes, yes.
Dido, yeah.
Dido. Potato.
Dido.
Let's cover the whole thing off.
Here we go, right here, you guys. Damn, I'm trying to think where I was during this playing.
It's catchy, isn't it? Right? Yeah.
Well, he even said their chemistry. I mean, like you said, you know, they perform very well together. But he even said their chemistry was just amazing with both of them working together. And it's kind of like, you know, when you work with people, you either work really well with people or sometimes you just get the job done. And they very much pulled this song off, and that performance was amazing. Like,
well, and even to compare it, what's the song with him and Taylor Swift?
It was...
you recognize
Both of Us, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, great song. It's a great song.
Two of them.
And Taylor Swift is huge.
Right.
But to me, the chemistry wasn't there as much as with Haley. I just think that was such a perfect mix. Perfect
But have you
song.
seen it live? Have they done it live?
I've never seen them do that live. But even in like the video and all that, it was just kind of like, oh, you guys did a song together. That's cool.
Well,
That's a great song.
I want to get your guys' opinion because we talked earlier to Thomas's mum and aunt about like when they were growing up, who were big pop stars back then, and they mentioned the Beatles, they mentioned Mama Cass and
Mamas and the Papas.
Mums and the Papas, and it's such a different business today. If you take a look at the Beatles, they wrote their own music, they pretty much produced most of their own music, they really were very hands-on. Whereas if you look at B.o.B, or Bob as I like to call him, because we haven't figured it out yet, once he's signed by a record label, they take over a lot of that in terms of producing it, in terms of getting other people involved. I believe the term is called like 360, and that's basically where you take a product which is hitting in one market or one demographic and try and hit every single demographic. And so they try and involve people from country or from rock or from different things. So I guess the real question is how much is intrinsically from that person and how much is taken over by the big sort of corporations or the record labels that sign them,
or the producer that they work with, because a lot of times a producer is going to produce you. You know, just like anything, a producer is going to produce. Exactly.
I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that people now are more or less talented than people 20, 30 years ago?
Well, I think it's different.
It's case by case, yeah.
Like B.o.B writes his own music.
Right.
The reason why I compare him to Andre 3000 is the reason Outkast is so big is because there was nothing like that. You have B.o.B who's a southern rapper, and then you have Andre 3000 who's this eclectic guy playing a guitar, rapping on a guitar, but also kind of singing. And that demographic, Andre's not really doing music anymore like that. So there's kind of a market for it. And B.o.B is from the same place and kind of filling that gap. So I do think he has a lot of creative control because he has the talent to do it. Yeah. He's not just, oh, well, he has a good voice, let's write this down for him. He produces his own lyrics.
So that song with Hayley, did he write that with her in mind, or did they come to him with it, or how does that stuff work?
Well, that one I'm actually not sure about. I'm definitely sure he wrote his lyrics.
Right.
Now,
they probably brought him her voice, like her vocals. And
thought she would be
That's what
really,
I would think.
She would be really good on Have You Ever Heard? Or maybe it could even come down to, you know, Lil Wayne does this a lot. Oh, I was just listening to this track. I want this person on it. I love the way the tone of Paramore sounds, her voice. And what's her name from Evanescence used to get that a lot. People wanted to pull her just from her voice.
Right, amazing.
So I think that there is creative control in that.
And kind of like what you said though, like he's kind of earned that himself. That like he proved, because you know a lot of different artists that we've discussed about on here, like they've been like typecast, whether it be acting because they look a certain way, they get stuck in a certain part, and you know, and they've had to fight that to play different roles. You know, the '90s versus now, and just like him, he kind of went through this to a different extent, not because of his background, but because of his music taste. And he's like, no, I'm not just gonna rap. I don't want to be caught in that box. I want to do all spectrums, and he had to prove that he could. I'm sure at the very beginning, the record labels probably weren't too keen on it. But if you prove over and over, I can do this and I can sell records, you know, he's proven it. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Like he writes his own lyrics. And
what else does he do though? I mean, he does only rap, right? He doesn't play.
No, he sings too. This is what I found out about him through. It was a AOL Music. They do like an unplugged thing.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever saw him, you know, I heard the song Hater after I'd already seen him on this YouTube clip. Right. He was sitting on a stool with a guitar, and I want to say he was like singing Wonderwall or by Oasis or something like that. And he was just, and not to say he has like a amazing voice. I love that song.
Not to
say he has an amazing voice.
Can you play anything like? Have you got anything like that? Something that isn't him rapping? I'd be interested to hear that.
In key, so we don't have to.
But you know, it's not that he has that amazing voice, but it's a tone, the way he sings it, and to me it was unique.
Right.
And I think that's why he sells.
And you know, the interesting too about him, like, not that we recommend this, but he mentioned that he tried to go to school when he was going to open mics and he was producing his records, and he ended up dropping out of school, which is not something that we recommend.
I recommend it.
But
I'm dead serious.
Well,
I'm dead serious. I think if you've got a dream and that's what you want to do with your life, I don't know if high school. I think high school is a good jumping off point. You know what I mean?
That's where he was.
Yeah,
right?
he was in high school and dropped out, and that's what I was saying. I don't recommend you dropping out of high school, but
I wish I hadn't gone to high school.
Well, the way it worked out for him was, I mean, that was his plan A, because he had no plan B. So plan B was like, I got to work on plan A, and it just kind of kept the fire to his butt per se.
Yeah. All right.
That is true. It does kind of light the fire under your ass.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. God, if only.
But you know, let's stay in school, kids. Here at AfterBuzz. But maybe you like B.o.B. I mean, maybe you want to buy. I mean, what else? Demi Lovato's new album. And if you guys are going to do any type of holiday shopping, we really need your help here at AfterBuzz. We're doing this promotion with Amazon. So what you do is, if you're buying anything online, go to AfterBuzzTV.com, click the Amazon button, and just make your purchase through that. Just helps us keep the lights on, help us bring this content to you guys.
It helps you replace this really bad BlackBerry, or if you have a really bad phone, you can go on Amazon.com, get a new one. It's a lot cheaper than going through your phone network. So
there you go.
Highly recommend it.
Amazon.com through AfterBuzz TV.
What was the last thing that you guys bought on Amazon?
The last thing I bought?
Yeah.
Probably my Buffy DVDs.
Oh, yeah? Really, Buffy? Yep. Nice. Oh, we got cheers. Thanks, Marissa.
Go Buffy.
They were for Marissa? No.
No, they were for me. Me and Marissa compete in who the bigger Buffy is.
Oh, like a BlackBerry phone case was mine.
Right.
Oh, but
I probably bought a book. I don't remember.
You did?
Well, and I mean, if you guys want to buy anything for the holidays, especially Maria Menounos' The Every Girl's Guide to Life, we recommend that. Through AfterBuzz TV, click the Amazon button, make your purchases. No extra charge. All right, Demi Lovato. This girl, I must say, is probably one of the hottest people this year. One of the hot topics this year. Interesting to see where she came from. Kind of a typical...
She's from Texas originally, I want to say.
Story of I Want to Be a Star. Wanted to be Shirley Temple. I actually nicknamed her the Comeback Kid, hearing all the time she went to audition for things, and... It's funny, everything she auditioned for and didn't get, they called her back. So she lost Barney at age 5, but then got it at 7. And then she, you know, her parents basically, you know, gave up their lives to support her. Guitar lessons, singing lessons.
I think gave up their lives is a little strong, isn't it? It's not like they were.
Well, but she mentioned her
busking on the
stepdad. Like,
streets.
you know, her stepdad. You know, he remortgaged the house.
Yep,
like
yep,
he
yep.
put her as a top priority. I mean,
Right. I mean, I got to say that there are things my parents have done to help my career that we've seen a lot of other parents not do. And I mean, I don't know what her parents' financial situation was, but
Pretty good now, I would guess.
Right.
Right.
I'm sure
well,
they're
she
not
referred to her stepdad as her father actually later on, and just
Right.
saying like he did so much that even a lot of fathers wouldn't do for their kids, and like that's something that I think going through the troubles that we'll talk about later, like I think she's realized just how much people have helped her get to where she is, and you know she kind of it's neat to see her do that 180, you know, or the 360.
Oh,
It's not
180.
correct. 180.
180.
Yeah, 180 because 360
because we don't want her backwards.
On that note,
At 14,
That's
she
what you get for
auditioned.
dropping out of high school.
At 14, she auditioned with Disney for a talent search. She didn't make the audition, and then a week later got called back for Sunny with a Chance, which she was the star of that show, and then Camp Rock. Those are some big Disney shows. I know Camp Rock was popping at its peak. And
was
Sunny with a
rocking.
Chance, she was the main star.
Well, I like that she kind of just got her hands dirty with the audition. She brought her own beef stew, got her face messy. You know, she just kind of really showed her passion for.
I kind of would have liked. Now, here's my thing with these shows. What are you gonna say?
You're gonna rain on my parade.
oh, I was gonna, yeah.
No, I don't think I'm gonna rain on it.
Oh, okay.
I want to see more about her. I wanted to know what she was going through, and this is why I think she's such a. Why X Factor did pick her this year. Why she is so positive right now. Because here's a teen who says, if the door shuts on you, keep trying because.
That's when you get your big break.
Exactly. And I think you said the same exact thing. If you don't keep trying, a couple weeks back, if you don't keep trying, you're never gonna get it. And this year, here she is. Here's this girl who went through eating disorders in the public at such a young age, reading those blog comments, cutting herself,
Well,
coming back, and then booking the X Factor, going on tour, helping kids that are going through the same exact problem with her as her. That's why I think she's so hot right now, because no one else is really speaking about these problems.
she's relatable, basically.
Very relatable. When you look at her as well, I mean, I can speak from personal. I just released my documentary. And
Oh, congratulations.
Nothing.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. Nothing
Can
but.
we buy it on Amazon?
Unfortunately, not yet.
Okay.
But it'll get there. It'll get there in time. But there's nothing but, well, I say nothing, but largely positive feedback. But the one person who says something negative about you, and it just destroys you.
Yep.
There was one person, and it just said, Nigel McGuinness was the worst wrestler I ever knew. He's the reason I stopped watching wrestling.
Oh, wow. That's harsh.
And you, I mean, you can't explain how that makes you feel. And you realize it's one person, it's just an opinion, but you take that and you times it by however many more people see her, and that word, ugly, can you...
Fat.
Horrible, absolutely horrific. What's the most horrible thing anyone's ever said to you?
Well, I was gonna say, isn't it a question of?
Do we want to?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I was gonna say it's a question of not reading those comments. Like, can't you just not?
Yes.
read?
Well,
You're
and
right.
she,
You're right.
but you know, she gave some of the best advice I've heard, though, and I'm not just saying that for this week's show. But you know, Demi mentioned, she goes, "Hey, this industry." She basically said it's true. It can eat you alive. Like if you're not prepared to make it big in this industry, it can literally take a toll on you. And she said the best thing she did was she admitted, she's like, I wasn't ready in my personal life to be this big. And you know, and not to like sidetrack, but Whitney Houston even made a comment like. She became bigger than what she was, and it's like a lot of times you see people who get into substance abuse problems or abusive relationships, and everything just becomes too big, and it's just too much to handle. I don't know if this is something Chris Brown's going through. I don't know him, but I'm just saying you kind of see this pattern repeat. Chris Brown was on a previous episode.
We saw how you did that.
Yeah, but it's but it's but I mean, and her best advice was she's like, I wasn't ready, and you have to make sure your head's in a very good place, because you know she went off and she hit one of her dancers, and she said, you know, she had to take a minute and think about it and realize this isn't me, and you know I think that's a very good point. It goes back to not reading those comments, but also she just was not ready, and that's when the eating disorder and everything kind of just came into full gear. And you know, maybe she would have had those problems. Maybe they just showed up because the fans were attacking her. I mean, but you know, on the side note, she did say her fans, the good ones, are the what had kind of helped her get through this and probably helped get her to where she's at right now.
And it's funny because you can kind of compare her to Britney, and that's one of the things on X Factor that everyone was kind of rashing them on. Oh, you have two broke down girls who, you know, go through rehab and all this stuff. Or you can look at it like that, or you can look at, you have two girls who went through the same type of situation and came back and now are sharing their experiences with these young kids, trying to help them live their dreams, because both girls are very successful. But I was surprised to find out that she was kind of a bitch and, you know, not easy to work with.
Well, it's big of her to admit that, too.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure everyone watching kind of felt, you know, maybe not validated, but kind of like, oh, okay, she admits that she was mean to me that day that I worked with her on, you know, makeup or whatever it was.
I kind of wonder if it affected her getting work, too, for a while, because a lot of times that can be a very humbling experience, because a lot of times in this industry, when you work freelance, whether you're on camera or off, like people, you can be very good at your job, but if you're very hard to work with, you won't get a call back to work.
Well, at that point, I think she wasn't really caring. She had her own TV show.
Yeah.
But I will say that once you get that reality check, and well, okay, so she went through her little situations with the bulimia, the cutting. PR people are gonna be like, "Ooh, let's stay away from this girl." It's like Lindsay Lohan. It's like, we don't want to mess with her anymore. Let's back out. And then it's almost, you got to ride the train. She went to rehab. She got her brain together. She said, okay, I can't care about what other people think. How am I going to get back in the business? All right, let's focus on an album. X Factor. I mean, X Factor, not to only say only offered her $1 million, but compared to what everyone else was getting paid, I know. But to compare to what everyone else was getting paid, and probably what she was getting paid for Sunny with a Chance, you take what you get, sit on, realize what platform you need to be on, and branch out from there. I mean, this is, to me, X Factor is the biggest thing she's done because of the names it's putting her with. Yeah, she was with Disney, but now you want to break away from that Disney.
Well, and she had a ¡1, was it song or video?
Song, and then her second album went #1.
Yeah.
Do you want to play that, Marissa? Give Your Heart a Break? There we go.
Wow.
Right on cue. There you go, buddy.
I don't see her as the same sort of thing as Britney Spears. You know what I mean? Britney Spears was pushed as a sex symbol from day one. Kind of got heat, perhaps, for not having the music side of things, whereas I think Demi Lovato was more the opposite side. You know what I mean? It was the music that pulled her through, and she was never really pushed as a sex symbol. You know.
Well, when I say similar in the sense of the industry ate them. And kind of got at them, and they had their breakdown.
Yeah.
And one thing with the whole comment, guys, because I do it too. If you see a bad comment, just click on their profile and just see who's.
Well,
because sometimes I just be clicking on them and I'll be like, oh, never mind. I don't even care.
Because they're usually knocking everybody out.
Right.
So,
you know what I mean? So,
and you know, what is it? Nene from Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I don't know where she got it from, but let your haters be your motivators. I mean, that's like the best, and it's true. Just kind of let it.
If you're going to read the comments.
Yeah, if you're going to, just let it fuel your fire.
Again, because I mean, we were talking earlier to your mum and aunt about, like, you know, Karen Carpenter, and is a classic example of someone who suffered the same sort of issues, and that was a generation ago, before the internet, before really, I wouldn't imagine there were many people who could get her to read what they thought about her, but she obviously felt that, whether that was, you know, people within the industry or whatever else. It's, you know, girls today have a tremendously difficult ability to, you know, to fit those molds of what they expect, right?
What did you guys think, as far as her being on X Factor, did any of you guys see any of the auditions? And there was this one girl, and she broke down on stage because Demi was such a role model for her, and she was getting teased back at home. And I just think it was such a smart idea of Simon to have found this girl, really looked at what her life was, because so many people are going to be like, we're going to stay away from that because that's negative energy. Yeah.
No, that's she's like relatable though. I think that's what makes
me. Well, they turned it relatable because in the middle of all that, nobody. I mean, same thing with Britney Spears when she was going haywire. Everyone was like, "Yeah, you're Britney Spears," but
you need a moment.
Take a Snickers break.
Sorry.
And so
Bing is for doing, and she just did.
Right. And she won't be doing any more. Thanks.
By the way, go ahead and check us out on iTunes if you like us. Go ahead and rate and comment, and be sure and tell a friend. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Just go to iTunes, check us out, and rate us.
Get us on #1. If you guys leave us a comment, we'll give you a shout out.
Holla at you. AfterBuzz crew.
So what do you guys see for the future as far as B.o.B and Miss Demi Lovato? Let's start with B.o.B. What would you like to see him do as far as his career?
I guess just something bigger.
As far as like, kind of with the pop thing, like an Airplanes type.
But something just new and innovative. I think we've seen him paired. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Seen him paired up with everybody, you know, and I feel like seeing him just doing something on his own.
I
don't know if that's his.
I feel
thing.
like lately he's kind of been at a plateau.
Yeah.
And he needs to just kind of.
Needs to rock the boat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
That's how I feel. I'm just saying.
I mean, as far as someone who's not as much into hip hop, what would you see as far as? I mean, you heard some of his music. You know that song. Working with anybody that would really kind of. What do you think would take him to that next level?
I really have no idea. I don't know that much about rap. Like I said, you know, I barely even recognised any of those songs. You know. But in terms of shaking it up, I think a lot of times you just need an inspiration from a different field. Like the Beatles went to, where did they go? They went to India, was that right? When they met the Dalai Lama, right? And that really influenced their music, I think, in the late 60s.
I want him to break his trumpet.
Did you just hear that?
You want him to?
Yeah, like let's hear some jazzy with the trumpet.
Break his trumpet.
Just get mad on stage, like I hate this.
I kind of want to hear him, you know, get back with Haley Williams, like you mentioned, but I really would like to see him with like a rock group, like Linkin Park or someone like that. Just like you said, completely
like
just.
Jay-Z did.
Yeah, I think that'd be really great, and I think it'd really elevate his career.
Yeah.
Something like, you know.
I definitely could see
What
that.
was the last piece of music on the top 40 that had a trumpet in it? You think of anything?
I think of the Mighty Boss Tones, but there's been more. I was just thinking
like
of them.
No Doubt, their last song.
Oh, you're
and then,
right.
Beyonce, probably Single Ladies or
Oh yeah.
Right.
something like that. All right, and Demi Lovato, obviously she's still on the X Factor right now, working on her music. Do you think she'll ever go back to TV? She kind of said, I want to stay away from that because of, I mean, obviously X Factor's TV, but it involves judging and music.
You think she'll have a reality show? Wouldn't that be interesting? I don't know.
It could work
Like
for her
following her.
because the
day-to-day?
documentary really did well.
I just think
Like-
that's cliched. It's been
I'm
done.
just curious, just wondering, just a question.
Yeah.
We don't want you to get. I don't
No.
want you to get a reality show. I don't like overexposing them. Like
Maybe
that.
movies, something in movies. You could do something in movies, maybe.
Yeah.
I could see her maybe getting back into acting if like the right role came along, like something that from X Factor would catapult her into some kind of role that she's never done, that she wouldn't, that would
More
get her.
TV or movie.
I could see it. That's a good question. I would probably say TV. More TV than
Like
movie.
a made-for-TV show
Some,
or a movie. I mean.
something like that, or just some kind of TV,
That's
like
One of those Hallmark
maybe
Christmas
even like
movies.
maybe even
Lifetime.
Yeah.
like a sitcom or
With
something. I
Tori
could see her
Spelling.
probably having some kind of, just to kind of show like a softer side of her, because she you know, she obviously sings, and the judge is a little more serious side of her, and this would kind of be like a softer side. I think if it was a right role, she would do it. But you know, definitely pursuing her music career, and definitely the X Factor is going to help her
Oh, I mean,
launch even further. Who knows? Maybe her and B.o.B. Right? I don't know.
actually,
On
maybe
tour?
that could kind of be cute.
She's not like the rest. She says that. Come on.
They're saying that she's gonna perform on X Factor at the end of the year.
Oh, is she?
So, but they also said Britney was too, and I doubt that's happening.
Really?
How come?
Did they have any bad auditions? Because obviously that's what everybody watches for at the beginning, right? On X Factor
absolutely.
Today.
Oh yeah.
I
But she was a
Do it on
nice.
there
She was
too?
like the Paula Abdul. Of
She was nice, was
Like
she?
she was nice. Like
Yeah.
if it was anything, she'd just be like, "Oh, honey, I don't think you should do that."
Right.
Britney
Because
was a
she's
bitch.
picturing herself up there. I
Right.
think, yeah.
But you can, and I mean, she's only had so much time in the industry to really be critiquing someone and being like, because someone could just turn around and be like, but you know what? One of
Right.
my favorite things she did do. There's a girl group on there, and they sang her song, and she actually stood up at the end and applauded, and she said, "You know what? You actually sang that better than me." That takes a lot for. That really takes a lot, because you could have just been like, "That was good, great job."
Wait. Brittany said that, or?
No.
Demi.
Demi
Oh, okay.
Lovato did.
But she's also probably supposed to be the nice judge, kind of like, you know, just to
Yeah.
kind of like soften whatever the verdict's going to be on.
Agreed.
I'll take it.
Well, so hopefully she goes on tour again because she seems to really like going on tour, and that works out good for her. And she can come out with a new album and a new #1 hit. I'm ready for some. What does she call her people? The Lovaters.
The Lovaters.
Fans.
Oh,
She calls
really?
them Lovatics or something like that.
Levadathons.
Levadathons.
Oh, would be good for young girls to call themselves Levadathons, wouldn't it?
All right, guys.
Oh, there's your
thank
body image for you. All right.
so much for tuning in. I am DJ Jesse. Follow us on AfterBuzz TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow me at DJ Jesse J.
Follow me at Thomas Guide, TOMASGUIDE.
I'm at Kendra Kabasele.
At McGuinness Nigel.
And where can we buy your documentary?
At McGuinness Nigel. Or NigelWrestling.com while they still last.
There you go, guys.
Nice.
Get them for the holidays. Until next.
Thank you to our
hopefully-
guest audience.
Yes.
Sorry, by the way.
Yeah.
Until next week or whenever they decide to air, this is how I made it. See you then. Peace.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.